Hey, how's it going today, people? Texas Redleg here. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. Hope that we're all able to relax a little bit and then possibly gather the things that are needed and that you may be short on or fill in those holes, whatever the case may be. Regardless, I hope you're doing well and everybody is content or as near content as they can be. Today's video, I wanted to discuss the topic of security. When I refer to the topic of security, I'm talking about there's three basic areas that I refer to security as. So, one is personal security, two would be economic security, and three would be health security. Now, each one of these goes into down a rabbit hole of its own, but as far as personal security goes, that includes defensive skills, risk management, being able to conduct risk management for yourself and others and your family and your household, and that includes while you're traveling. And then also the firearms and ammunition and or slash weapons is what you might say. So, defensive skills, you could be talking about some type of martial arts. There's all kinds of people that are skilled at that and that value that, hand-to-hand combat, things of that nature. I sort of rely on risk management skills the most. I'm not a martial artist, never have been. Not that I have anything against it, it's just not something that I ever really got into. But risk management, that's important in the way of being able to identify hazards, anticipate things ahead, knowing when there's trouble, having a feeling, and paying attention to your surroundings, driving defensively, knowing who's behind you, checking your mirrors, understanding the areas that you're going to, etc., etc., etc. There's tons that goes into risk management and or risk assessment. You should know where you're going. You should know the times of day where it's safer. There's all kinds of things that you can dive into with regard to risk management. And of course, weapons and ammunition. And I'm not just talking about firearms. There's all kinds of weapons out there. But personal security, I break it down into three areas: defensive skills, risk management, and then weapons and that goes along with weapons. And you can use your imagination with that. But it's not the be-all, end-all, but those are the areas that I sort of focus on when it comes to personal security. Now, economic security, number two. That could mean cash on hand, whether you're employed or not. Do you have a regular paycheck? Do you have a savings account? Do you have a retirement account? Do you own precious metals? So there's a lot that goes into economic security, and I think right now people need to be especially mindful of making sure that they are as secure as they can be economically. I think there's a lot of ambiguity out there with what's going to happen in the stock market and such, and there's a lot of, it depends on who you listen to, but there's a lot of professionals that are saying that this whole thing is going to come crashing down, and it's going to happen rather quickly. So I would certainly try to improve your economic security situation if you can. Some people are just going to not have any, wiggle room there. Some people are just really in bad shape and they're sort of stuck in that rut, so to speak. But if there's things that you can do to improve your economic situation, do it. And then the third area that I refer to in security is health. Now, with health goes along a lot of things. So, food and water is in that. Medicine is in that, prescription and over the counter. And then first aid skills. If you are a, medical professional, nurse, physician, nurse's aide, if you're, a dental hygienist, whatever the case may be, you've got some medical skills there that are valuable. And If you're not in and you're not skilled in the first aid field, you might want to pick up a book of some sort regarding that subject and study it and keep it. Try to buy a small one where it'll fit in a backpack, what have you. But you need to try to have some first aid slash medical skills, because I think that this virus is gonna be with us for a long time, and I think whatever you can do to stay out of medical facilities is great. But I'm not telling you don't go to the hospital if you need to, but I think it benefits you and everybody else if you can possibly stay out of those facilities unless it's absolutely necessary that you get emergency help. So with regard to the security items I touched on, again, the three areas that I focus on: personal security, economic security, and health security. Now with those, again, they go off into a lot of different areas, but I think if you keep those three items in focus, you can better yourself and keep it simple and not just go off on these crazy, tangents and buying up this or that unnecessarily out of panic. There's just a lot of things that you can control if you're keeping it simple and keeping it deliberate with what's, needed and what works. So anyway, I hope that topic of security helps some of you, and I don't have all the answers. I'm just throwing out what I do again and trying to pass along the areas that I focus on. And I want to throw out a bonus here, and the bonus is referring to barter items. Let's all hope that it doesn't come down to bartering, but there's a good chance that it may. And I think the more items you have to barter with, the better off you're going to be. And it gives you security to have that ability and to have those options. So the top barter items that I discuss typically and participate in or prepared myself for is alcohol / liquor, tobacco products, various 2A products, different medicines, over-the-counter stuff. And then the fifth one is skills. So say you're I don't know, maybe you're a nurse, and that's a skill for people that aren't medically trained. We just touched on it with regard to health security above. Being a nurse or a dental hygienist or a physician or a dentist, man, you can trade those skills for things, because in a world where cash is pretty much worthless, bartering is the name of the game. And if you can fix a toothache and get a couple 100 rounds of freedom seeds for it or whatever you need, that's maybe a good trade-off for you. You can go on down the line for stuff like gunsmithing. Gunsmiths that have all the tools and parts to do stuff with are pretty valuable, especially in a SHTF situation. So you're going to be able to go to the store and just lay down cash and do whatever you want to do. Sometimes, you may have to do a little bartering for those services. Mechanics, mechanics are huge. Some people don't have any auto repair skills, or, I don't know, plumbers, tradesmen of different, sorts. All those things are skills that are tradable, I think that's huge. If you're a trained professional, you may not have a lot of items to trade, but you've got a skill to trade, and that's a big deal. And I would encourage folks that are in those industries, and you've got extra parts or extra extra goods, extra equipment, things like that, materials. I would suggest you to stockpile those and have them ready in case something happens. You've got a tangible asset there that you can do some trading with and help somebody out and help yourself out. So I think taking security into account and breaking it down into those three areas, personal, economic, and health, I think you'll do yourself a real favor and that of your family and friends. And then bonus today again was the barter items, trading liquor for things, tobacco, the different 2A items, medications, over-the-counter stuff, of course, medical supplies, things of that nature. Hydrogen peroxide for washing out a wound. Maybe somebody needs that, Again, there's just a lot of different areas you could go to for that type of thing. So anyway, I appreciate everybody watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Keep prepping. Stack it deep. And long live the Republic.